Got the robe on.
I like that. I was gonna say Billy Hefner.
It says Billy on it. What's
That's
up,
great,
man?
man. That's awesome. How you doing?
Good. Yeah, I had
Good.
a really good conversation this morning with a registered nurse.
Oh,
She got her second dose of the Pfizer vaccine Sunday. So we just talked, and it wasn't mandatory. She was, well researched and, wanted to, I don't know. I told her she's a brave soul.
wow.
She's a brave soul. So it was good. We talked for almost about an hour. And she just kind of recounted, her whole experience. And I asked her, what if you were to say who's for it and against it as far as a ratio in the, in your hospital, what would you say? And she said it's about 50-50. So,
Really?
and I wouldn't venture too far off of that to just expand it nationwide, 50-50. Like
That's probably about right, I guess. Yeah.
yeah. So
At this point, and maybe before this year, it would have been a lot more in favor of it than against it.
right.
That's probably about right. But what's interesting about the vaccine is, and it's kind of ties actually into censorship, is Lana was posting a Facebook post, and they blocked her. They blocked her post, and the post was about the doctor who died from the vaccine.
It was that in Florida?
I don't know for sure.
Okay.
I don't want to misspeak, but
Sure.
that could be. It's whatever the recent one in the news is.
Yeah.
And I think that's right. But yeah, it's just bizarre, and I don't know. But I personally, I don't do vaccines, and so
Right.
I think that's a personal choice thing.
Yeah.
But it's just, isn't it bizarre how why wouldn't you want to let everyone know the truth of what's going on with it? Wow. Anyway,
Yeah. So
that's the sick start right there.
yeah, that was a morning conversation, which I was able to capture and put it out there. So, it's we're in an info war. So let's just go. Let's go 2 a days, 3 a days, as much as we can. Get it out there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's important, Billy. I think this is just what we're doing is fun. It's fun. We're buddies, so it's always nice to chit chat with our friend, and we have like minds, and so we talk about about a lot of common stuff. We have a lot in common, but the big thing is getting the word out. Just like you said, get that
Yeah.
word out. And it's like, wake up, America!
That's
Wake
it.
up, America!
Yeah, man. What's been going on your end?
Well, just a few things I took note of today. It's been kind of quiet. It's a little bit more difficult to get information right now with kind of the social media blackout and whatnot. But it's kind of interesting. A few notes I took. Nancy Pelosi, went after the 25th Amendment.
Right.
Congress voted on getting Pence to enact the 25th Amendment, and Mike Pence politely declined. I'm not sure if you saw that or not. He responded back and said, whilst I didn't make a move to to do anything with the Electoral College vote, I'm not going to do it now with the 25th Amendment. It makes
Yeah.
no sense. It's a political kind of thing. So I'm paraphrasing, obviously, what
Sure.
was in his letter. But so they went after the 25th Amendment, and it's failed.
Yeah.
Pence rejected that, and so then that will lead into what's most likely going to be a vote on impeachment tomorrow.
Wow.
Something like that, or maybe the next day. But it's right behind the 25th Amendment, and gee, it just doesn't make any sense for someone who's
7
going to be out
days.
in a week.
Yeah.
Why?
It's to really clinch his second attempt at running again, right? That's what that function would then, it would block him out of re-campaigning, I guess.
That's
Yeah.
certainly one of the motives, and the other one is to be able to immediately remove whatever powers that he
Yeah.
has, which is quite a lot right now. I mean, he's probably He's one of the only presidents that has so much power given to him by executive orders and national emergencies declaration and declaration of war with the war on terror and all that stuff combined. He has so many powers right now. So I can certainly see why they want to get those out of his hand.
Right.
Yeah. And interesting, today I heard that the number of troops in D.C. Bumped up from around 7,500 to now around 15,000. Is what I was hearing. That's a lot of troops, and it kind of, I don't know how that makes sense, man. It's supposed to be a virtual inauguration for Joe Biden.
And so what? They're just going to pump now in anticipation of the Trumpers, right? They're just they're just, that's all it is. Yeah.
That's exactly right. So that kind of leads into kind of the next thing, which was, I don't know if you saw it around social media, but this graphic or flyer for the nationwide armed protest, both at the national capital and all 50 state capitals. There's someone is promoting this armed protest at the in D.C. and at all the state capitals. The flyer doesn't have any kind of group taking responsibility for organizing it, or any kind of information like that. And it just really, really smells very funny and stinks like a upcoming false flag.
One of their operations, just another operation they're playing out. Yeah.
And another deep fake. They want to get patriots there that are armed. They want to start that war. It's another reason to be able to crucify the patriots and take away our rights, take away our guns. They're taking away the free speech right now.
It's literally happening. Yeah.
The guns are coming, So, boy, that was really kind of one of the bigger things I wanted to talk about was, we're patriots and we want to fight for our rights and we want to speak up and be loud about it. But it's very important for patriots to stay away from these particular events that are coming up, to not give the deep state the opportunity for their deep fake false flag operation, because someone will end up getting hurt, number one, and it'll only give them ammunition for further persecution of constitutionalists and patriotic Americans down the road. So the message I like to put out that I'm hearing from some of the different sources, alternative media sources I listen to is, and absolutely agree with, is hold the line. Yeah. We've been asked to hold the line. Hold the line. That means don't get in trouble. Don't get into fights. Be peaceful.
Lay low.
Stay away from controversial stuff. Don't get caught up in baloney.
Dude.
Don't don't contribute to their narrative.
Right. And the whole Capitol event. It was just, all you need is a few sparks in there and some people that can rile shit up and let's go. And then the fog of war kicks in and now you're just in a crowd of chaos. What are you going to do? Like, you're putting people in a fight or flight mode, a real low level frequency type of not thinking. This is like the madness of the crowd type thing, literally. So it's like, I don't know. And I thought you were going to try to go a little deeper as to like, Billy, you need to get more involved type thing, but my thing, like, that it's a real threat just to be there, period. Like, there's real physical threat of just like being in that proximity.
There is, but so on that note, be involved, and I was just and the last thing I was going to talk about that was on my list to talk about was we're still doing a rally on Saturday.
Yeah,
we're still going to do that. We're just not going to participate in this, we don't want patriots to participate in these events that have been advertised,
co-opted,
to create the problem. But we have our freedom rally, our Celebrate America, our Hold the Line, our Stop the Steal rally. Our rally is going to happen again on Saturday. We feel like it's an important rally because it's the Saturday before Inauguration Day. And in fact, we've got on our end here, we've got the gentleman who ran for Congress in our district is going to join us at the rally and come talk story with the Patriots here. And And he's going to run again. So it'll be nice to kind of chit chat with him. And he's a patriot. Not a politician. He's never been a politician. So he's a patriot. So this is an important one. So, back to the beginning of this little segment here is be involved as much as you can. And getting the word out, like we started the show talking about, or the segment or the session, whatever we want to call this.
Yeah.
Getting the word out is good involvement. You are involved by getting the word out, putting it, doing these interviews and putting it out on the net, and rally is just one way to be involved. This is another way to be involved. Doing other things are other ways to be involved. So stay involved and stay on the push. And even after this is all settled and there's a president in place and everything else, we still need to be involved. We still need to be involved for those particular different issues that we always talk about that need to be addressed.
Freedom.
Everything doesn't get fixed right when there is a new awesome president or new not so awesome president. We still have to go after each of the issues. We still need to put the people into office that we want in office, and hopefully, let's pray and have faith that hopefully moving forward with whoever the president's going to be, that election fraud and all that gets addressed, so we can keep our voice in our government.
Yeah. So can you speak on that? Because I know you've been getting real involved on that side of things. What if someone out there, watching, maybe that is something that they could do, but they don't really know the pieces of how to put something like that together, like
doing the rallies? Or,
yeah.
I think there's right now probably contacting the local Republican Party committee, your precinct, your district, or county, and most of them, they'd probably be able to tell you where a rally is, or looking up some of the individuals in the National Stop the Steal movement. A lot of them document where a lot of the rallies are in the different states and whatnot. For here in West Hawaii, everyone can contact us local GOP guys. We're patriots. We're new into the party, and so these guys. A lot of these guys in the party are doing these new guys have been doing the rallies.
Yeah.
Here, but I would say that looking up the Stop the Steal, maybe on their social media, or there's a Stop the Steal website that may show when the different rallies are, and it was really strong. Obviously, right after the election and whatnot, and I'm not sure how much that's updated. But a phone call to try to get a hold of whoever your local GOP person is, and GOP doesn't necessarily have the greatest name right now, but
right.
Generally speaking, that's where the Patriots are at. So
got it.
So that's probably one of the better ways to try to find out where the local ones are at.
Cool, man. Yeah, I was at the park today, getting my little routine in with Leia, and had a great conversation with one of the moms over there, and she's just on point with everything. Just, we don't wear masks, we go out, we make it a thing, I politely decline, and that's a big misconception also. I feel like a lot of people, if they knew that they could continue life without the mask, that they would if they could do it without confrontation. But a lot of what they see is, it's this fight. But it's like, no, you walk in, sir, would you like a mask? No, thank you.
Yeah.
No thanks. And you keep on walking, and if they want to press, hey, you know what? I have a medical condition. Maybe that's number 2 you throw if they want to go past that, But there's ways that you can get out of this, because it's like, okay, it's like we said, it's COVID-19, then it's COVID-20, 21, 22. Where do we draw the line here? Where do we say, listen, like, and this came up in my earlier conversation today, was like, it's like egotistical for humans to think that they are going to control a global virus, like we are nothing compared to the actual natural forces of this earth. And to say that, oh, by doing this, we're going to contain it. No, not at all. Like, and you certainly aren't going to use that, grand idea to clamp down on people's freedoms. Like, and so it's, if things are going to come through, a hurricane's going to come through, it's going to come, like brace, get ready, prepare, get out of the way, do what you can, but you don't just change your entire life, and she's over it.
Must run its course. I mean, they have to run their course. You cannot stop a virus. That's what what science used to tell you. I don't know what this new science is. This last year and a half has been telling us, but viruses they gotta run their course. You can't stop them.
Right.
And masks are completely worthless against a virus. They just don't work.
Yeah, man.
There's absolutely no scientific proof that they do work. So if there is, someone needs to show it to people because it's not out there. There's actually evidence that shows that it does not work. So it's bizarre, and you're right. We cannot let this little, what everyone thinks or what a lot of people think is a deadly virus. It's not.
Yeah.
It's less deadly than what the flu has been over the last 6-7 year period.
You're familiar with virtue signaling?
Yes.
Just the term in general, right? The mask.
Yeah.
The mask is virtue signaling.
Well, yeah.
If anything, it's a vow of obedience. It's a virtue signal saying I wear this because of you.
Yeah.
Well, no, take it off then. If it's about me, then take it off. Like, because we're good here.
Don't do it for me. Don't do it for me. I don't want you to do it for me.
That's right. So. Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's a control mechanism. It's a muzzle.
Yeah.
It's a control mechanism. It's meant to demoralize you.
Of course.
It's meant for less personal interaction. On the 6-foot rule, I'm hearing a little stuff about 6 feet away. They want you 6 feet away from the next guy so they can track you with the satellite.
Right. Yeah.
There's some ulterior motives behind all of those things. Where did the 6 feet come from?
Right. Yeah.
Right. So it makes no sense whatsoever. So, I mean, I think more and more people are, like you say, they just don't really believe in it, but they don't want a confrontation.
Yeah.
Generally speaking, the majority probably just don't want a confrontation. They just deal with it.
Right.
Of course, I do to go to a restaurant, put the damn thing on, and take it off when you're in the restaurant.
Yeah. Yeah.
But honestly, I think until, and I don't think it ever happens that they say, oh, hey, now we can take our masks off. I really don't think that happens.
Yeah.
Unless it's some epiphany and some big explosion of of a fraud behind this whole thing. The only way it stops is if we all stand up, and we got to do it. We got to find businesses who are going to stand up and say, forget about it. Because that's the only way that it ends, is if we end it. They're not going to voluntarily give it back to us.
I saw a Biden quote today saying he vows to bring death to the NRA, or something to that tune, basically.
Yeah, that goes back to that. That's part of the get rid of your Second Amendment rights. False flag, create violence. Patriots have guns. Take away their guns.
Oh my God.
Get rid of the NRA. NRA protects the Patriots' guns. They're bad people because they have guns. No.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's what they're doing, man. They're trying to take away that right.
It's going to be a hell of a year. I'll tell you that much.
And
it's just the beginning. I mean, we gotta turn the ship, man. We gotta turn the ship, and it's one mind at a time. That's it,
Yeah.
So
it really is. Let's keep a little faith here. Let's see what happens leading up to inauguration, and see what's going on. I still have a little bit of faith that truth comes out and light overcomes darkness, because that's what I believe it is. Battle of good and evil.
Yeah.
So I really believe the light overcomes darkness, and I hope that this is the moment that it's going to happen is sometime over the next week, and I'm going to try to have a little bit of faith. And, a week from now, if we're talking it hasn't happened, and we reevaluate that statement, see if how well it aged, and
That's it, man.
Move on from there. But over the next few days, I think the 17th, 18th, and 19th, I'm going to throw a guess out there that we might, if things are going to happen, we might see some stuff going on then, or hear about things, or that might be when the big blackout comes for communications, and maybe perhaps the emergency action system, emergency broadcast system is enabled, and that's how we hear our news. So,
17th, 18th, 19th. So you're saying the 3 days leading up to I Day. Yeah.
I think it's good. I think that would be right around in that area. It'd be at the last minute. Don't want to pull your card too early. Let them have time to react. Do it. That's from the Art of War, Sun Tzu. You don't give them time. Wait till the very last moment, and then you strike with all your might.
Good stuff, man. You want to add anything else?
No, sir. I think that's good.
Hell
God
yeah.
bless America.
Good stuff, dude. I appreciate you, and we'll check in next few days.
Right on, brother.
Hell
Sounds
yeah, dude.
good.
Have a good night.
You too.
See ya.
Thanks.